Hello everyone, Karen Cecilia here. I trust you're all good. I have something to say, and so I'm going to ask you to give the video some big thing thumbs up while I say what I have to say. And what I have to say is about the Prime Minister's declaration and the IC Commission. Andrew Holness' statutory declarations from the IC now paints a picture, a very rosy picture, that the Prime Minister is and has been honest, 100% honest in his finances, his investments, his savings, his bonds movement, his share in various companies. This IC report, while they have exonerated him, can't help themselves but trying to do something else. And I'm going to expose that for all the dunce people on social media who putting out things where their masters give them to put out, talking about bank account and how much bank book people have, because them don't even take the time out to read the report. Some people don't want to read something like this, because some people are afraid of knowledge. And if them read it, they might go get the information. They not will like the information that them get. So they prefer not to read it. They prefer that the masters send out the misinformation and the talking points that them want to put out there, because Mark Golding have lost this battle. And he has lost it big. Him is a disgrace for all the excitement we create around this. And this is what it boils down to. But I must say, before I get into all of that the Prime Minister played them extremely well, like fiddle. Prime Minister could go probably play violin, I don't know, because he played them. While they were making all of that noise, he was just silent and quiet, because he knows what he knows. And them know what them know. And I mean, it's beautiful. It is kind of a beautiful contradiction. It is. To see how Mark Golding was going on, and Dayton Campbell, and then, boy, I mean, I know I'm feeling so disappointed that Julian got himself into this foolishness. I talk about people who call election because the Prime Minister reporter will come out, and boy, I need Julian just need to break up and stop that foolishness and don't follow these people. So the IC is now what I would like to call an organization, an institution that was set up by the Parliament. And Mark Golding boasts that he's the one who set up who was the lead man in setting up this IT commission. And they were set up to oversee integrity and transparency in government and our public servants. And now they are the one whose integrity and transparency is being called into question. If nobody is not called into question, I will. Because the IC initially were investigating the Prime Minister's 2021 to 2023 declarations. I can't imagine that if the Prime Minister, well, I can. Based on what they have done, the Prime Minister have not had his statutory declaration certified since 2021. So therefore, I am going to assume that he has had his statutory declaration certified in 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017. Well, back to when he just became Prime Minister. I'm going to assume that, or when he was opposition leader. I'm going to assume that based on this. But this IC, in their investigation of the Prime Minister, they went all the way back to 2020 to 2018. I don't know what I'm looking for. Strawman, Duppy, we don't know what happened on the way. They set themselves in this deep hole, this dark hole, where they're looking for something. They must find something. Something must dead there. We are go back, go look. And while they were doing all of that, they were providing information to Mark Jefferson, who then now pass on information to him pedophile general secretary, and both of them was out there talking about illicit sex. They illicit it. And for the first time in 8 years, the governing body on integrity and transparency have proved to the Jamaican people that the big lie about the Prime Minister being dishonest and calling him a thief is just that, a damn big lie. The Prime Minister's statutory declaration has become such a kind of a lightning rod, some kind of inflection point on integrity in government. It is the biggest thing that was making headlines for the last 3 years. And the IC took that to mean that they should go on a witch hunt for the Prime Minister of the land. Something that they never did to Mark Golding. And we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. But here's what I think. I think the Governor General should recall the IC members. I think the Governor General should recall the entire membership of the IC. This is not good. These people have no integrity to judge other people's integrity. I think of Greg Christie, for example. He's a man I've never liked. Him always look sour-faced and vexed with something like him carrying some kind of grievance for some people. Him on some kind of grievance campaign and him out to get somebody. Anybody that comes in his way. And for some reason, the powers that be in this country believe that him is a man of integrity and them need to put him on this high horse to question everybody else's integrity. Mr. Greg Christie don't want me to start talking about female integrity. But him is one of them that I totally dislike because him always seem to be on a mission to tear down somebody. And people who go on missions to tear down somebody is doing it to build themselves up. And it's the only way for him to build himself up. Because him don't have nothing else to build himself up more than to tear down somebody. Because him don't look good, him ugly, him look like a bulldog. And him always look vexed. I've never seen the man smile. Always look vexed. Him on some witch hunt. Him on some vengeance campaign. For something. Him carry some kind of grievance for something and somebody. And I'm going to get to the damn bottom of it. I am going to get to the bottom of it. So the Governor General should recall this entire Integrity Commission. The Parliament, I believe, should pass a law to enable us, the people, to have a say. Let us vote on some things. Why not? Everywhere else is moving forward with involving the people in their lives, except Jamaica. Why is that? Why is that? Why can't we vote on a measure? Why can't we have a ballot measure to say, what do you think, should the Integrity Commission remain as it is, or should we overhaul the parameters in which we set them up to operate? Should we look at it? Can we create something, pass a law where the people can actually recall people? Where people can vex with a member of parliament for doing something and get a percentage of signatures to recall him before election? Or recall the councillor before election. The last time the local government elections is 8 years. They were all in there for 8 years, which was unconstitutional. They were all illegitimate and there was no system in place for us to recall them. No system in place to force that. It's time that the people have the power to determine who represent them and who are these people. And set some parameters in which they represent them. Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor of California because the California people recall the previous governor. Them sent out petition and recall his ass. Of course, it was led by Arnold. It is time that we get some ballot measures so that we don't have to just vote for a prime minister, vote for an MP, and vote for a council. We want to vote for some other things too. We want to vote for some other things, man. And we can think about a whole lot of things that we want to vote for. And we mention some of those things that I think that I want to get a chance to vote on. The people should get the chance to vote on whether we keep the king as our head of state, yes or no. Yeah. And yes, I'm going to put this in there. And we should get a chance also to vote as to whether Jamaica should legalize gay marriage, yes or no. Why not? What are you afraid of? Put it to the people. Let the people vote. We should get a vote to say whether we believe the Integrity Commission should be made up, who that these people should be made up. I mean, it's technical right now, but we could find a way to do that. So that the Governor General himself don't him alone just don't sit up at King's House and decide who I put on Integrity Commission. We need to have a say in these matters. Because we are now at present electing people who are selecting people that they deem to be qualified to uphold the laws of our institution, in this case Governor General, of course, whom the people have no control over because the Governor General represents King Charles III. But they're not doing a good job. The IC have failed. They have been failing for the last 4 years because they have taken a political side where they are deciding who to go after on a witch hunt and who not to go after. They sat there and give information to Mark Golding, sending him out into the country, talking about illicit 8 and illicit 6, him and Dayton Campbell and Angela Brownbrook and the whole damn Rise leadership. Where did Mark Golding get that information from? Did he make it? Did he made it up? Or does he have some kind of inside track with the IC? Did somebody in there providing him with information? Because it seems that way to me, that people are giving him information. And by doing that, it is the IC who have now brought themselves into public disrepute. I mean, these people should be above reproach. They should be above board. But they sat there and allowed Mark Golding to run with this narrative for the last 3 years that the Prime Minister of the country is a crook. They sat there, and the more him say it is, the deeper them go dig to enhance and cultivate and boost the narrative that Mark Golding has. Andrew Holness is my member of parliament. He's the Prime Minister of the land. I've never voted for him, but we have always have a good relationship. And when I read this thing, it galls me. It galls me the lengths that they went through to try to dishonor the Prime Minister of the land. And to what ends and why? The lengths that they went through, they were to investigate from 2021. They went back to 2018. They poke holes, they dig holes, them dig long drains. I mean, the amount of backside hole that them dig, we could walk from here to maybe Riyadh. The way they went all back. Digging our institution that is charged with upholding integrity and accountability and transparency from our public servants, have put that whole system into public disrepute. And they have themselves create this whole controversy that they have been embroiled in. And I don't see, it appears to me that they don't seem to realize that it is them, they that have created all of this controversy around their reporting. There's a system in place, and they have thrown that system out of place and create another alternative narrative where people get information from them and can go out there and paint that information and write that information and put it out into the world for people to get misinformation and for the country to be done so that it was. I mean, them dumbing us down. Every opportunity, them get them dumb us down, and Mark Golding is leading this. Dumbing us down. And him dumbing down the people who following him. The ones who give the talking points and the narrative. When I go say that, what happened to them this morning? Them out there talk about how much bank book. Oh, please. How much bank book? Bank book? You know what bank book I have passed through? Every year that I clean up, I tear up bank book and dash way. I could count maybe 30, 40. Having bank book is, even bank account is not a big deal. But the IC, after they went through all of that, they themselves have now said and put in black and white that the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Right Honorable, Most Honorable, oh yeah, Doctor too, Dr. Andrew Holness, let me congratulate him on that. And it's from a good university, not the one where nobody know about where Angela get her doctorate from. Him get film from a good university. Yeah. Let me hear snaps of that. They have gone out and set a narrative and allowed Mark Golding to carry that narrative. And then them put out this pristine report. Pristine. While Mark Golding has boasted that he's the architect of the Integrity Commission Act. But it appears that in its creation, there were certain flaws and there are certain flaws within its function and its operation, and there's some kind of vagueness about what are the parameters of their job. But here's a question for you all. Why they don't go after Mark Golding as vigorously as they go after the Prime Minister? Because Mark Golding has so much more to hide. Lest we forget that it was Zara Burton who brought forward some of the things that he was hiding. And it was us who also wrote to them and brought some things to their attention. Yeah, we did. The resistance wrote to them and brought some things to their attention, which them never feature in his report. And him had to go reset it. How come they don't go after him the way they go after Andrew Holness? The one named Beresford and Greg Christie, them two there, is a disgrace to public service. I remember in 2014, the Beresford, I think, was acting contractor general at the time, put out in the world, in the media, that him recommending prosecution for Portia Simpson Miller and the entire cabinet. He was recommending prosecution for Portia Simpson Miller. He have a history. He has a history of going after poor people picnic who make public life better. Poor people picnic who rise from poverty and nothingness and become something. Him and Greg Christie seem to have some kind of thing going on for them, because him go after Portia, now them coming after Andrew Holness. Now them coming after Andrew Holness. Because they don't operate in a fair and balanced way. And the Jamaican people must stand up against them. So I'm saying that Governor General should recall them. Have they gone after Mark Golding the way they go after Andrew Holness? No, they have not. They have not. They have not. They have not, because they have a thing in their heads. And let me tell you what that thing is. These things are real, you know, people. When they don't pretend that you don't know that these things are real. Them don't feel no way. Them don't feel no kind of remorse. Them don't feel like them have a responsibility to behave properly because Andrew was the Prime Minister of the country. Not to treat him differently in terms of investigation. But there is a parameter. There is some line. There's a line, man. There's a damn line. And they have no qualms in going after him because he's a poor boy from Spanish Town. They come from the bowels of ordinary people. Can trace back his roots to his foreparents being slaves. Portia Simpson Miller, same thing. She herself said that she comes from the bowels of the poor. And these are the people them going after. They're not going after Mark Golding. They assume stuff about Mark Golding. And they assume stuff about Andrew Holness and Portia Simpson Miller. What do they assume? They assume that because Mark Golding is white and him is British and him come from slave owners clan, so everything him tell them can accept. And them don't need to dig deep because him supposed to have money and him supposed to have stuff. And there will be stuff that them can't verify and stuff that them don't know him have. But it's alright because him white and him is British. That standard is not for Andrew Holness and Portia Simpson Miller. I want you to understand the same black people that will put on these commission. I saw them operate. They would never go after Mark Golding the way they did. That they go after Andrew Holness. Never. Free money, alright, man. Him come from slave owners. So they have a whole piece back load of money when nobody can trace back to nothing. We don't know how them get it, but it's alright. Yeah, man. Him is a British. Yeah, him father have a whole part things on a Britain. And him father didn't own a whole part things. So we don't need to look no further. For them thing legit, them have it. A thief the whole light, you know. Everything when them have them thief it from black people. But it's alright, them have it because them come from slave owners clan and him white and him British. But no, the same thing don't apply to Andrew Holness. It don't apply to Portia Simpson Miller. Because them black and them poor. And him being Prime Minister, him shouldn't have no money. The only thing him have is him salary. Him shouldn't invest him salary. Him shouldn't get good people to say to them, invest 100,000 for me. And it build up to 600,000. The Prime Minister have $1 million US. What kind of Prime Minister in the country have $1 million US? Jamaicans must say a laugh for him. I mean, Jamaicans must be laughing at him. Your prime minister land have $1 million US. You must go spread that. The prime minister have $1 million US. And a couple of hundreds of thousands of Jamaican dollar. What kind of foolishness is that? I mean, prime minister for 8 years. But he couldn't have no more. Because God help us if he may never have 10 or 20. God help us. But Mark Golding, him can have as much as he want. Because there's a different standard for him. As against what the standards are for Andrew Holness and Portia Simpson Miller. And Portia Simpson Miller cabinet at the time when Beresford wanted to lock up the whole of them. These different standards. Different strokes for different folks. And one might think that this is just me talking. But I assure you that it's just not me talking. It's there. It is there. Mark Golding created the IC Commission and him have an inside track where they provide him with information and him can run with everything right and run with everything sideways to see if it can help him politically. There's nothing wrong with using things to help you politically. Both parties do it. But it's the IC that have made the IC, brought it into public disrepute. And sooner or later, Jamaican people not going to believe a thing that they say. Nothing that they say. The Governor General must recall them and rename the commission. Because all of them are walk around for all their lives, except for Pamela Monroe Ellis, who is on it. I don't trust a single soul. I don't know anybody else on it, except Pamela Monroe Ellis and Greg Christie and that damn fool Beresford. And Greg Christie, who look like a damn bulldog, vexed with himself, look like him vexed with himself all the time. I care running some kind of grievance campaign against, I don't know if it's government or individuals. Can't smile. I'm always in a foul mood. We don't need people like that to be running our integrity commission. People in a foul mood and some kind of grievance campaign and a run witch hunt for people. The IC has become a witch hunt commission. And the witch hunt is the Prime Minister. And they have embarrassed themselves because they went, when they couldn't find anything in 2021 and they couldn't find anything in 2022, they went back to 2018 to see if they can dig some different hole and see if they can find some other things. Come on, people. That's not normal. That is not normal. Yes, in your report, the bank account with his parents. Yes, he did that and he should have. This might sound a little crony to you all and funny. But this is the body that we are supposed to trust. This is a body that is supposed to help us to bring some kind of transparency and some kind of integrity and order to the financial operations of our leaders. It was a good thought to put that in place. But we must also remember that you have to find good people to put it in, to run it. And these set, them not ready. Them not ready. Because Mark Golding has been using them and they have been working for him to make things difficult for some people. And now them end up with not only egg pan them face, but a different kind of egg. Start with S, end with T, and that upon them face. So this body that we are supposed to trust, we are supposed to trust them. We are supposed to have faith in them. And they have been severely damaged by their own action, leaking information, briefing Mark Golding and internal stuff, sending out false narrative. It is they that have done that. Brought the commission into public disrepute. I encourage all Jamaicans to go read this report. It is a pristine report that shows the Prime Minister as being a smart investor and not robbing the country as the narrative that Mark Golding sent out. Andrew Holness is my MP. I'm not going to defend it. I'm not going to talk about it. Because if it did come out with anything else, I would have talked about it too as well. I would have tell him how disappointed I am in him. He never ever, all this time, I can tell you, when people say Andrew Holness, Steve, I don't still want to do. because him is the MP in my constituency, and because I knew him when he first came, and because when he became MP the first time and he was working for Mr. Siag and we had a very good relationship with him, it just never come across to me like that. See there? See there? These are deep-rooted things that the IC have been doing. And this is my conclusion. Because Andrew Ole is a black man from Spanish Town who come from humble beginnings, rise to the pinnacle of power in the country. They would never have done this to Mark Golding. I don't think about that. They never ever said a thing about him yet. They never ever. There is no leaking and briefing to anybody talking about Mark Golding and all the things and all of him thiefiness when going on with. My investment banker, my lawyer, he's also a damn thief. I would thief money from the country like him and Peter Bunting. Huh? Now them sell off all of the FinSac assets and pocket the money. Now they were the ones who proposed to the government to sell the FinSac asset. They were the ones who proposed the person to buy the asset, and they got a percentage from that proposal, plus they got a percentage from the man who them get the government to sell it to. What is more criminal than that? How many people still suffering from that? 82 lawmakers have not had their statutory declarations certified. 82 out of 84 lawmakers. That's what the IC says. 82 parliamentarians and senators have not had their statutory declarations certified. I have never heard Mark Golding open his mouth about that. To say, what? 82 senators are members of parliament. Why are they not certified? 82. We don't hear the IC saying anything about the 82. What is it that is holding them up? What is it? They went after, on the thing, may I talk double story? They went after Dwayne Vaz. Because Mark Golding and Peter Bunting still want Central Westmoreland to give to some riser friend. They never want him to have the seat. And them trying, and they went after him when that letter came out. It was them going after him. Where them getting them information from? Who gave them those information? Except the IC. Who provide them with the background information from which they should run to? Except for the IC. Craig Beresford and Greg Christie are the two main ones in that place. That really galls me. And people like them, they are disgrace to public service. The Governor General need to recall the IC commissioners and give us a new IC commissioners. Because them man, they are small-minded and inadequate men. And I you know what I mean when I say inadequate. You know? Things inadequate and small and tiny. And them seeking to prove themselves to be upstanding public servants when they are nothing but people, and always on some kind of political campaign, some grievance campaign, some kind of way to prove themselves. I encourage everyone to go read the detailed 70-something page of the Prime Minister's statutory declaration, and you will see that Andrew Holness indeed is a honest man, and it's them say so, not me. But I have always known that all the things that they were saying could not have been true. Could not have been true. I have never come out and said, it's lie, the man is not a thief. But somehow deep down inside I always know that most of these things can't be true. I mean, I know him. I mean, we don't hang out and drink and eat. But when he first came here, I know him. We used to go to the office, Mr. Siaga office where he work, go sit down with him when he became member of parliament here. When him say want to see us to talk about something to do with our community, remember what? But we got here. He never strike me as that. So here we are. He has been exonerated. And Mark Golding have a whole big load of shaving cream upon him face. Because him failing that. I wonder what is next for him. I wonder what is next for him. Thank you all for listening to my rant. I trust this was more than just a rant. I hope so, at least. God bless you all. Stay safe, everybody, and please keep our children safe.